an enemy from within is a different story for another day. Remember, this post isn't gender specific, so if you're on the male side, apply it to yourself, and if you're on the female side, apply it to yourself. Let's dwell on the OC group. Now, according to my own experience, there are two types of the OC groups. The first people are the people who got contaminated, maybe from where they might have placed their legs into. While the second group are the people who willingly entered or were born into it and they accepted to carry on with whatever they were born into. Now, the first group I mentioned are the blind ones. These people are always or most times under captivity, and they wouldn't even be aware of it. It would be playing patterns in their lives, and then their family, their immediate family, would be affected. It normally portrays its first symptom as poverty. You would keep dwelling on your past glory. Now, as a woman, if you end up marrying this type of man, and let's say you came from a very, very wealthy home or an average home, doing very fine. Once you step your leg into this marriage, you yourself would crumble. Now, let's go over to the second part. The people who know they are ocetic, the underground lizards, the wall gecko jetleys. When you meet such woman or such man on a first date, you would be all high, all imaginary, all delusional. You would think they are the perfect ones for you. They would know how to play out their role just to woo you into the marriage. I know someone who was dating a very ascetic man. She said that the number of wall geckos that started to appear in her house multiplied, unlike the usual. Even in her room, she would figure out some would be hiding behind the bed, while some at the back of the shelf. And when she would be with this man, maybe on an outing or visit him in his house, he would be saying things that she alone would say when she was alone. She would also notice that his way and body language would change if maybe she spoke to a different man that day who was also seeking her hand in marriage. I can understand when you're trying to pray that God delivers a sinner, maybe a friend of yours or a spouse of yours that is an unbeliever. But I would never ever justify the stupidity to get down on your knees and pray to God to convert your OC group friend or your spouse or a parent or parents. The people that are trying to eliminate you at all costs. The moment you understand that their reason and ours are not the same, the moment you have wisdom to move on and move out, if you cannot stand. Personally, I do not encourage living in the same house with an acidic man or woman. The difference between them and the physical bully idiots we have in marriages is that physically you get bullied, you would see when the punches are coming and you would know when to run. But this time around, you're dealing with people and things you cannot see, meaning that you would be lying on the same bed with your acidic spouse or spouse to be, and you wouldn't even know they are the person attacking you spiritually and even physically. A lot of women are married to the ascetic men, and a lot of men are married to ascetic women. But I would say that the worst part is when you are married to an ascetic woman, because she would have a strong leverage on your children. And at the end of the day, you die alone. Because not belonging to that ground is also a threat to them, which they must eliminate you or render you useless. These two things. Another point I would like to address is, if you're getting to know a man or a woman, try finding out about her roots. There are some people who they've dug their head into the church. You believe they are genuinely there, but in the night they are something else. You cannot really tell, but if you are attentive in your dreamland, your spirit man would always warn you. That antenna would always warn you. The worst thing that would ever happen to a human being who is still finding his or her way in this life spiritually is to end up with an ascetic man or woman, and to make matters worse, their roots spell doom.